Hello, welcome to our video on SME software, that's small and medium-sized enterprise software for Call Manager Express. In this section, we're going to cover the CUCME file set. We'll look at exploring the Unity file set, which is our voicemail, and finally the CCP Express file set. Let's take a look at our first video, which is exploring the CUCME file set. In this video entitled Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Software, we shall see how to explore the CUCME file set, explore the Unity file set, which is commonly known for our voicemail, and we're going to look at the Cisco Configuration Professional Express file set. And we're going to look at the CCP Express file set, which is Cisco Configuration Professional Express file set. You're going to want to download and provision the CUCME file set before you deploy a voice communication system. Your phones are going to need those load files to operate. So first off, we have to gather that CUCME file set. It's much easier actually to say from this point the CME file set. Most people refer to the small enterprise option for Cisco for voice as a Call Manager Express. Let's take a look at the Call Manager Express file set. So if you have a Cisco account, you can log into your account, which should give you permissions for the CUCME file set. Right now I'm not logged in, as you can see. You'll have a lock next to it if you're not able to get that file set. So you have to log in to access that file set. And under that, it's called this Unified Communications Manager Express file set. You have three options here. First off, you're going to want to download the Complete Support file set. In that Complete Support file set, you'll see the version number. This is version 11.7. This is compatible with my G2 Universal iOS. If you have an earlier model router, you are limited to the CME file set that you can install on your device. The G2 series in this case can install 11.7, which is our current file set. It's about 300 megabytes. You want to go ahead and download that file. The second thing that's often included in that tarball would be the individual file sets, and those would be typically like your locales. So the locale file is to install the file set for your region. In our case, we'll do a regional installation for a different country. The US is the default file region, but to provision your systems for other areas, ringtones, etc., you're going to need a locale file for that area. The next thing we're going to do is download the Call Manager Express or CCP Express file set. That's a very small file set now. You can find that CCP Express probably by a search through this window here, and we can find CCP Express. It's often called the Cisco Configuration Express file set. This is the admin guide, and from this you can download through the links, you can download the software. Let's show you what that looks like once you download the software. I actually have a file index here. So this is your CCP Express file set. If this comes in zip mode, you're going to want to make it a tarball. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. This is my complete file set, and this is my locale file set. So basically to open it, I'm using a program called 7-zip. And once it's installed, you can open your archive, and it opens up using this method. Simply go through it like this. These are all your locales. So here's one for Great Britain, English. That's going to be our one that we install, and this is appropriate for this version. So after we unzip it basically, or unpack it from the tarball, it'll create a series of directories like this. Okay, so there's file directories, there's names of files, etc. And what we can do, I'm going to view it as maybe details. By name, you'll see that the file names have no spaces. Ensure that your organization has no spaces. This is going to be a very important part. Based on this organization, you're going to want to create your Tftp statements. These are going to be used to provision your system. So this is a manual TFTP entry, and through PacketPub you should have access to my creation for this. I basically gave access to this, so if you want to see it or utilize it, you're welcome to. So this is manually created by myself, and it references all the important files and ringtones and desktop loads that you'll need to operate your phones. I'm going to go through this real quick. Music on hold, my time zone, my GUI options for my CME. Here's all my ringtones. Here's a list of some of my phones I'm supporting, my desktop backgrounds, my load files for the phones, for both SIP and Skinny. I load files for both, my SIP default.cnf file, And lastly, you'll see like an XML default file that I'll provision through the Tftp statements as well. So if I were then to take that and put those files, I'm going to want to rezip those. So I'm going to show you how to rezip this. If you have the file structure you'd like to do, just right click it, add to archive. It opens up your window for your tarball. Just name your tarball, go ahead and create it, and it's that easy. You'll see here that the CCP Express 1 tarball was created. You want to move all those tarballs over to your router because your router can unpack tarballs. Watch what happens when I go to the router. I can do a directory flash from my USB. So basically I put those tarballs on my flash, plug in my flash to my router, and then list those files. Directory, USB flash 0, and this is my USB. So I see a USB here as a tarball. I'm going to show you the command how to unpack this tarball. For example, the command is simply go to your window, type in archive. You want to archive, you'll have some options here. Tarball, what do you want to do with a tarball? You want to extract it. Where is it location? USB flash 0. Your file name, 2900, whatever that file name happened to be, in this case 2911 deploy. I'm going to use that actual name. It has to be, it's case sensitive. And I'm going to unpack it to my flash location. Your 2900 series routers have 2 flash locations. Flash 0 is the default. Simply press enter. It takes about 20 minutes to unpack. So rather than have you watch this, I'm going to show you what the results look like when you unpack it. Directory of flash 0. You'll have your phone files. This is the way I set up mine. CCP Express, that's Cisco Configuration Professional Express. They'll be used for GUI management of your router later. Not for your voicemail, but for your entire router. The Cme files, these are your GUI files for your Call Manager Express. So they'll have a web page access for your phones. You'll have your phone loads, your backgrounds, your locale. My locale is under ITS directory actually, which this is where it should be. And then your SCCP phones, your phone models, and your SIP phone loads. Your time zone, and the important document, your XML Default Config document. So the XML Default Config, I'm going to show you what that looks like. More flash 0 can read a document. I highlighted XML Config. I'm going to show you what this looks like when you go to load it. So the XML config file is provisioned typically by you in the command line before you deploy it. And one of the most important things in this XML config file is this IP address. That IP address will point to your router's address or whatever file system is serving your TFTP files for your phone. So if my phones go to load, they're going to look for that IP address to find their load files. And they're going to follow this port number 2000, which is the skinny port. So in this case, my phone loads are specified by my IP phone load here. So the model Cisco IP phone for the 7945, when it boots, is going to look for a skinny load. Now you can have the option to provision a SIP load in there as well, but as you see, the phone models are supplied with one option. So if I want 2 phone types like SIP and skinny, I would provision one with a skinny load, and then the other phone model I would probably do with a SIP load. This will simplify configuration as you go forward.